Ale, ale, ale. Ale, ale, ale. Ale, ale, ale.
Evening, Blades fans. How are we all doing out there? Let's just get this thing rolling, shall we? I was meant to go live 5-6 minutes in the future, and I'm just thinking it's nearly 10 o'clock. Let's get cracking on with this because no one wants to hear me talking for much longer. Go to bed, ladies and gents. Anyway, if you're listening on to podcast, thank you very much for listening too. This is probably going out tomorrow, so you're probably listening to me the day after the game, but I am going to be reviewing Sheffield United losing our first game of the season, technically, in a cup game away at Barnsley. It finished 1-0, and in all honesty, we didn't do it anywhere near enough to even get a draw out of this game. We weren't good enough throughout the game. We come into our own a little bit towards the end, but it was a little bit too late for the Blades to get anything from this game. But I was kind of excited, thinking if we can nick a goal here, it's penalties, baby. But it wasn't penalties, baby. It wasn't penalties, baby, at all. Anyway, let's get into talking about this game. So, team selection. First and foremost, I got 8 out of 11 on FanHub. So, that was okay, I guess. There's a few in there that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to see Anel back so soon. Obviously, Chris Wilder had a bit of a Mardy moment when all the fans were thinking that Anel were leaving. Like, what do you expect? Like, it's happened so many times in the past. Obviously, Anel's still here for a little bit. It was just an illness, and Anel was back. Norrington Davis playing centre back in a 4. Wasn't ready for that, but obviously it's nice to see him be out there and getting his fitness back. Sam McCallum, it was nice to see him out there because I quite liked Sam McCallum in pre-season. Don't think he did too much tonight to stamp his authority on the team. I thought Sai Sachdev right back. I was expecting it, but I was pleasantly surprised with Sai Sachdev tonight. I think he had a really, really good game, in all honesty. Raksaki was on the right, which I expected, trying to get some minutes in the boy. Sidney Peck, obviously, after the last game against Wrexham, he bossed that game. So, obviously, he's going to go in there. Koulibaly, yeah, the less said about him, the better. Hampson, I expected to play again. Marsh and Brewster, up top, sort of. So yeah, what did I get wrong? I think I didn't have Norrington Davies, I didn't have Anel, and I don't know who the other one was actually. Can't remember. Anyway, does not matter. Oh, Marsh it was. Doesn't matter in the slightest. Because we were all worried against Wrexham that we were going to get turned over by Wrexham at Bramall Lane, putting out a pretty weakened side from our usual side, because I think it was 11 changes last time, and it was 11 changes again, I believe. Yeah, it was 11 changes because Anel didn't play in the last game. So you can't expect to go into every cup game, make 11 changes, and just win the game. Like, we were good. We were really good against Wrexham. That was sort of a crunch game. I suppose this is as well. It's a South Yorkshire derby. Like, we haven't played Barnsley for a long time in the league. I can't remember the last time we played Barnsley in the league. I think it was under Slav, possibly. So, yeah, quite a few years ago. I don't think it's got that sort of rivalry that it's had previously, because obviously we've not played them in such a long time in the league. We've not been around them. So, I don't think any United fan really thought if we lose to Barnsley, it's going to be the end of the world. Whereas I did think that a little bit against Wrexham. But maybe we should have had that little bit of South Yorkshire bite in there. But yeah, obviously Barnsley had a little bit of more of that. And really, for me, the reason why Barnsley won this game, because they had a 10-15 minute purple patch where they were just all over us. Now, we had that a little bit later on, but it was too little too late. They'd obviously got a lot of men behind the ball at that point, so it was much more difficult to break through them. But yeah, they took their chance when they got it, and fair play to them. And yeah, Barnsley were decent. Like, it was a pretty poor game across the piece. We weren't particularly good. I don't think they were particularly good for the most part. But like I say, they took the chance when they got it, and yeah, that's what wins games of football. Um, anyway, let's move into this game. One thing I will say about Adam Davis, obviously let one goal in, not his fault in the slightest, but we always seem to build well from the back when Adam Davis is in the goal. Um, he never looks flustered on the ball when he's got it at his feet. Not that it really matters because Michael Cooper will be playing the rest of the season in the goal. Um, it's just nice to see. It is because yeah, he's always good at playing the ball into feet in the middle of the park. Wes was always a little bit dodgy when it comes to ball to feet, and obviously let's not even speak about Gerbich. So it's nice that Adam Davis has got that to his game. Anyway, let's move into the game. So the second minute, Hampson wins a free kick on the edge of the box. Very, very very well done by Hampson. Big fan of Owen Hampson, but it's a really poor free kick from Sidney Peck, and this is kind of set the tone for his first half performance, at least, because I think we all expected Sidney Peck, after that fantastic performance against Wrexham, to just run the show today, and I think he thought he was going to run the show as well today. He looked very confident on the ball, a little bit overconfident at times. I'm a big fan of his, and I joked on the Patreon group saying, why would we give this lad a new contract? He's rubbish. Obviously, joking. Everybody's allowed to have an off game, or not even an off game, because I think he played well in the second half. It was a first 45 minutes where a lot of his passes went a bit wayward, overhit passes, underhit passes. It almost felt like he'd got a little bit too confident, a bit overconfident, and he's trying to play these Stevie G balls left, right, and centre. And yeah, just need to calm it down. Just play how you played against Wrexham, just controlling that midfield, and everything will be absolutely fine. But yeah, he did try a Hollywood ball a few times, and it didn't really come off. In the 6th minute, a short back pass, Louis Marsh was straight onto it. But their goalkeeper managed to kind of tackle the ball away as him and Marsh both went for the ball. I thought Louis Marsh did okay tonight, in all honesty. I think he finished the game as well. Did he come off at all? No, he played a full game, full 98 minutes, actually. Yeah, he did okay. Nothing sparkling, nothing that makes me kind of remember that moment when Louis Marsh did that thing. But he had an okay game, kind of linking the play a little bit. I will say Jesurun Raksake in the first half was quite dangerous. There was one ball across the box from him where he did a really, really nice bit of play down that byline. Not enough wingers go down the byline. They get to the byline and they cross it in. Not many go down the byline. It's nice to see that every now and then. Obviously, you can't do it every time, or the ball's going out for a corner, or worse, it's going out for a goal kick. But it's nice to see him get down there, gets a good ball in. I kind of missed this. My stream kind of stopped, and I only saw the replay of it, like a snapshot of the replay. So it looks like he cuts the ball back. Brewster's on the stretch a little bit, and it hits the post and goes wide. Actually, that was our best chance of the whole game, and that came really, really early in this game. Then in the 17th minute, Barnsley got down the wing. Fantastic front post cross that Sam McCallum read, slid in. Very, very good defending, because that could have easily been a goal. And let's be honest, our centre-back pairing tonight were a little bit all over the place. I can understand it from Reece Norrington-Davies not having played for such a long time, but Anel, for me, was very poor at times, especially for the goal as well. He kind of lost his man for the goal. I'm not blaming Sai Sachdev for this one. I'm certainly blaming Anel, and Sai couldn't get back, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll obviously get onto that in a few minutes. But I wrote down on my notes, as I do, Jesurun Raksake just causing problems for the Barnsley defence constantly down that right-hand side. And that's what we wanted to see from him tonight. I wanted to see a little bit more from him. I think he did a few nice runs, but I'd like to have seen him kind of really cause them problems and get some shots on target, get some really good crosses into the box, not just that one to Brewster. I wanted more from him. In the 40th minute, City Peck fires wide from distance after a really, really well-worked corner. But yeah, it just goes wide of the goal. Keeper maybe has it covered. And then that's half time. And really, in the first half, it was pretty bland, to say the least. The funniest thing that I tweeted about was that the Barnsley fans were singing Didar to City Peck, who famously came from Arsenal and was born in Enfield in London. I think it's London. So yeah, that's not right at all. But we all do it, don't we? You northern this, you southern that, when most footballers aren't from the city that they're sort of playing football for. But saying that, we've got a lot of young players, so they had a go at it. And actually, he's probably one of the only youngsters that isn't from Sheffield. So unlucky with that one, Barnsley fans. Anyway, we go into half time, and like I say, I think it's been a little bit 50-50. Just looking at the stats now. Actually, the Blades had 60% possession, Barnsley 40%, 8 shots, 0 on target, 5 off target. Barnsley had 1 shot on goal, 2 shots off goal. It was like 8 shots. That sounds quite a lot for the first half, but it didn't feel like 8 shots. It really didn't, especially as 0 hit the target. Obviously, with that Ryan Brewster one hitting the post. And in the second half, looking at the ball possession, 73% for Sheffield United. Clearly, that kind of last 15, 20 minutes took its toll on the ball possession. And that's what really ramped up that the possession to get to 73%. But Barnsley, like I keep saying, Barnsley in that kind of 10, 15 minute purple patch, it might have even been 5 or 10 minutes, they were all over us. They absolutely bossed it. And my worry about Sheffield United is that we had a lot of ball. Like, I've just seen somebody in the comments talk about it was a hecky performance, and I don't disagree with that. It was a lot of sideways and backwards, and then we pushed the ball out wide to either Raksake or Brooks. And hopefully, with Mikey Johnston coming in, if that is what happens, we've got a little bit of balance. Him on the right, him on the left, and Raksake Brooks on the right. But actually, it's so unbalanced, this attack that we've got, because whether we play Brooks or whether we play Raksake, Gus Harmer's always on that left-hand side. And now Gus Harmer's a fantastic player. He can do more things than any other players can do for Sheffield United. But what he can't do is beat players for pace, beat players by dribbling at them and doing step up. That's not his game. So it just feels, I said this in the last video, it just feels so unbalanced, the fact that we've got one side where there's 2 players vying for the same spot that like to run at defenders and get around that way and get around this way and have shots and stuff. And then Gus is constantly like coming inside because that's where Gus wants to play. And I completely understand it. So I don't really know how Wilder's going to change this, because we've got Gus Harmer and we've got Callum O'Hare, who both like to play central. Gus maybe dropped a little bit deeper. But then who do you swap him out for? Because Susie's had a good start to the season and Arblaster's undroppable. So what do you do if an out-and-out left winger comes in? Because Gus Harmer should not have to play on that left-hand side. It's just, again, like I remember under Wilder in the Premier League, the second Premier League season, where we got found out. I still don't believe we got found out. I just think that the players weren't at the levels that they were previously. Anyway, that's for another day. When Jack O'Connell got injured and that left-hand side was not as good as what it had been. Obviously, Flecky had injuries and Stevens had injuries. That left-hand side was our bread and butter. And then George could go down that right-hand side and Bash could go down that right-hand side. We had such great balance because if they went, they stayed. If they went, they stayed. Whereas now, or sorry, in that season, that second season where we had Jack Robinson playing left centre back, he's not going forward. We had Ben Osborne sometimes at left wing back. He doesn't get forward as much as Ender Stevens did and got those balls in. We were so dominantly down that right hand side. And when that's not working, there's no plan B. And it does feel a little bit like at the moment, pass the ball out to whoever's playing on that right wing, let them run at someone, and hopefully they create something. And I don't like it. I don't like it. It's so predictable, especially when Callum O'Hare's not playing in that kind of number 10 role where he's linking the play, because you can fizz it into him. He can play it kind of back to or out to Gus, out to the right, back into our blaster. He's coming forward as well. When you've got Peck, Koulibaly, who else did we have tonight? Raksaki, who's not played any football. These are all players that don't usually play together. So the fact that we're just throwing them in and expecting them all to kind of come up with the goods, I know they all need game time, but I think sometimes throwing them all in together is not the right way to do it. I think maybe we need something like, play Callum O'Hare. Callum O'Hare didn't play against Wrexham. Maybe play him in this game. Maybe play Kiefer Moore up front in this game instead. And maybe start Gus. I don't know. But they need to be kind of brought in 2 and 3 at a time rather than 11 at a time, because I don't know whether Wilder just wanted out of this cup, but he's done it 2 times in a row, and you can't, like I said earlier in the video, you can't keep just changing 11 players and expecting them to gel well together. It's hard enough gelling the better players that we've got, because we've got so many new transfers in and so many new faces and getting used to how different players play. So, yeah, it almost feels like Wilder wanted out of this competition. And it's not nice to go out to Barnsley. We've had 2 teams that should really be rivals in Wrexham. We had all that stuff with, and it was good that we beat them. But then tonight, it was a bit of a damp squib tonight for the Blades. But some will know what I mean when I've said that. So, yeah, it's just one of them games. I'll go into talking about the Barnsley goal and a few of the other attempts that we had towards the end of the game, but I don't think many people want me to talk about it too much. It was a very, very well worked goal from Barnsley's point of view. The ball was pushed in behind, can't remember who it was, pushed in behind maybe Reece Norrington-Davis. It was a great ball again into the front post. This time, Sam McCallum couldn't be there to save our blushers. Enel lost his man. And then Sai Sachdev tried to come and help him out, but it was too little too late. Nothing that Adam Davis could do about it. Great ball through, great ball into the box, and a really, really tidy finish into the corner from a Barnsley perspective. So what can you say other than it was poor defending? And it really was. It's also the first game that we've not scored in, which is poor, but it's going to come at some point, isn't it? And if you're going to not score, it's got to be one of those games where you've changed 11 players. But yeah, really, in between the 50, I would probably say the 48th minute and sort of the 60th minute, this is when Barnsley came into their own and they were just creating chances at will, turning that screw, if you like. And they could have had a second one because they had a really well-worked move, massive deflection on a shot that's just gone past Adam Davis's left post. Could have easily gone in. The resulting corner ball comes into the box, headed just over the bar. Barnsley were all over us at this point. Then we bring on, we do a triple substitution. Brooks, Campbell and Trusty all coming on. Raksaki, Hampson and Reece Norrington-Davis off. I wasn't exactly excited by these 3 players coming on. Obviously, Brooks has been one of our best players this season, so I should have been excited. And excited I was because Brooks was fantastic down that right-hand side, beating them at will. They obviously had to put 2 men on him, which they did against Raksaki as well on that right-hand side. And do you know what? As I said earlier, if you've got better balance, if you've got someone coming off the left, someone coming off the right, they're not going to double up on you because you could causing problems from anywhere. But actually, all we were really causing them problems from was that right hand side. And again, with Raksaki coming off and Brooks coming on, it was the same again. Brooks was fantastic though when he came on. Got a little bit of a kick at one point. I don't know what it was. He went down for a little bit, but he got back up. Hopefully, he's absolutely fine. He carried on the game. I think they would have brought him off and not really risked him for a game like this if he was injured. But it's one to maybe look out for because obviously Brooks has started every game, I believe, this season. And then we had a double change around the 72nd minute, something like that, maybe 70th minute. And this is where we sprung into life. Gus Harmer coming on, Burrows coming on. Burrows really came of age tonight for me. I know he didn't really do a lot, but you could see that he was taking the game by the scruff of the neck, like Gus was. Those two down that left-hand side took the game by the scruff of the neck, and you could see that it meant something to him. Which it didn't seem to kind of mean much to many of them tonight with how they played. But in the 74th minute, Gus gets a yard of space, hits a beautiful shot that kind of goes at the goalkeeper, but bodies are coming across this, and the keeper makes a good save, pushes it out for a corner. In the 75th minute, I think it's a short corner. It comes out to Peck. It's a deep cross. The goalkeeper takes it. He's not bundled into the net by Trusty. By the way, this is a goal that was disallowed. He wasn't bundled into the net by Trusty. He kind of catches it and he's falling backwards, and Trusty kind of just heads the ball out of the keeper's hands. It hits the bar and goes in. The Blades fans are cheering, thinking we've scored a goal. It never really feels like it's a goal when the goalkeeper kind of goes down or the goalkeeper's challenged and the ball goes in the back of the net, because you always think that the goalkeeper's going to get the rub of the green from the referee. It always happens. So there's no point in even celebrating, to be honest. But yeah, I didn't expect us to have scored from that anyway. So it's fine, and it probably was deserved to be disallowed. In the 77th minute, Gus Harmer again gets the ball from distance, just off that left-hand side, and it is from distance. It's an absolutely fantastic strike. It's dipping and swerving and all sorts. Again, it's straight at the goalkeeper, but it's dipping and swerving, and we know how difficult they are for goalkeepers. He punches it away, and that's the end of that move. In the 79th minute, this is the big chance that we should have scored from. It's Sidney Peck that puts the ball high and wide. I wouldn't say high and wide because it's not kind of over the bar, but it's wide. It's a great little bit of play between him and Andre Brooks. A back heel from Andre Brooks. Sidney Peck pushes the ball through and he just puts it wide. I sometimes feel that these players, they need to get a goal under their belt early. I know the midfielders, I'm talking Peck, I'm talking Brooks. These sorts of players need a goal in the league or in the cup early in their career to almost make it feel like I can do this. And if that would have gone in from Peck, I think it'd have gone from strength to strength. I still think he will go from strength to strength, but it just gives you that little bit more confidence. It's the same with Brooks, because Brooks, I feel like he needs a goal. He gets into some really good positions and he never tests the goalkeeper. So yeah, not tonight, obviously. I'm thinking more about Preston away, where he had a lot of good attempts sort of off that right wing, like us breaking away. So I want to see those two get on the score sheet, because I think more goals will come and the confidence will grow if those two young lads manage to get a goal. In the 79th minute, that was in the 79th minute. Sidney Peck shoots from outside the box with his weaker foot, hits the post. It was again really, really good play. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Like I said, Peck had a good second half. He really did. And especially when he's playing with Harmer, he's playing with Brooks, he's playing with these types of players that are going to be starting every single week. I want to see Peck in there with our first 11. I don't want to be seeing him having to play with Koulibaly all the time. Anyway, 85th minute, Harmer and Brooks worked it really, really well. Worked a free kick really well, should I say. Brooks runs off Harmer. Harmer lays a ball through. Burrows plays a low ball. I think he's stretching for this. I think Harmer's put a little bit too much on it. He plays a low ball into the box. It ends up at Louis Marsh's feet, smashes the ball straight at the goalkeeper. Then we're into injury time. In the 92nd minute, Brooks and Peck linked up beautifully, but the final shot was wide from Peck. I think I've got mixed up. I think that was the one that I was talking about earlier on, where Brooks did a beautiful back heel straight into Peck's feet, and that's the one that he put wide. That was in the 92nd minute. And then this is it. This is the moment. This is the moment that made me laugh the most in this game. It's the 98th minute. We have a free kick. Gus Harmer steps over it, and I'm thinking this is going to be a ball deep into the box for a big lad to come and head in the back of the net. The commentator says Adam Davis is coming up for the free kick. Why? Just why? Maybe Adam Davis, maybe the Barnsley connection. He wanted to go up and score a goal. But like, yeah, I've gone on and on and on about this game and what we could have done and what didn't work so well. Do we actually care that much about this cup competition? Probably not enough to send the goalkeeper up front for a free kick in the last minute. It just made me laugh a little bit. And it might be all down to Adam Davis wanting to get a goal, but I just found it a little bit odd. But anyway, the Blades are out of the cup, and I think that's where I'm going to leave it with me talking about this game and go into some comments. Peter, like watching a Heckingbottom team play. That's the one that I alluded to earlier on. Yeah, it was a disappointing performance tonight, in all honesty. Honestly, could say terrible performance, but the blame has to go on Wilder for putting such a weak team out in the first place. Terrible decision making. I think you're right, Danny, but at the same time, it worked against Wrexham, so we obviously thought that it would work again. I'm not going to put the next one up on screen because there's a swear word in it, and you know that we are a PG channel. But Gary Cauldron says 5,000 Blades. Wilder got it wrong again. Harmer goes, Trusty goes, Vinny goes. I don't think so. I will put this one on, though. No, I'm saying they will be off. Money Talks, 40-year-old Blade. What's happened to the takeover? Shush. Okay. I don't like the negativity. I don't like it. I really don't. Let's be positive, guys. Okay, right. Justin Rice, poor performance out there tonight. Slow and not up for it. And Barnsley probably deserved it in the second half. A few youngsters nowhere near yet. Bigger fish to fry this year. Highlights how little depth in quality we have beyond the first 11. I do agree. Chris, thanks for the 5,000. Well, thanks, United. Let the 5,000 Blades down. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. At least they've not got too far to come home. That's, yeah. That's a bit of a silver lining. Koulibaly should never wear a Sheffield shirt again. I don't know how to take that. Because if you're watching Sheff United against Barnsley and you're talking about Koulibaly and you're spelling his name right, you sound like a Sheffield United fan, Joshua. But you wouldn't call us Sheffield if you were. That's really thrown me and knocked me for six. As soon as Brooks and Harmer came on, they looked way more lively. Other than that, terrible. Wilder well underestimated Barnsley. As soon as I saw the starting team, I knew we would lose. 11 changes since Saturday is ridiculous. Again, we did the same thing against Wrexham and we all thought we were going to get beaten. But then tonight, the mood changed because it was kind of like, well, we did it before and these lads played really well. Why can't we do it again? Absolutely agree, Chris. Absolutely agree. Bruce are now on 86 games, 5 goals. How can he still get games? I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm trying not to say anything negative, but I am agreeing with you, Chip Butty. That's a weird thing to say. Brooks frustrates me. Tricky feet, but hardly any end product. It'll come, Ian. It'll come. I'm 100% sure it will come. Chris Eads, nice to see you, mate. Wilder has to go. 1 win in 4 isn't acceptable. Why make 11 changes? Nick, it's inexcusable to make 11 changes 3 games into the season, especially after his claim. Yeah, I keep saying it. If we'd have beaten Barnsley tonight, nobody would have been talking about the 11 changes. Nobody. We beat Wrexham with 11 changes, and nobody said, everyone were like, masterstroke, these kids are the future. And then they have one underperforming game, which obviously will happen when you're playing a lot of kids and a lot of fringe players. I agree. We shouldn't be making 11 changes. And I don't think we should have made 11 changes against Wrexham, but it worked then. Didn't work this time. He's done it before. I think he probably thought he could do it again, but it's very naive thinking that. Marsh, like a boy playing men's football, needs a lot of work. I agree. I think he needs to go out on loan again. I can't see him getting much game time in the Championship this season. Get that Koulibaly waste of space out. Starting that many kids was a bad decision. I'm just going to press a Wrexham button every time. Brooks is better than Raksake. I think right now you're absolutely right, Beast Boy. So weird. But yeah, Raksaki's got a high ceiling, same as Brooks. I'd like to sort of see them both in the same team, especially in games like this, where we can afford to throw men forward and attack at will. I'd like to have seen them both on the pitch at the same time tonight, but it wasn't to be. Sell Brewster. I don't think there's many teams that will be interested in Brewster, in all honesty, Jack. Hecky got us promoted. Don't forget that. Couldn't have been that bad. Leave Hecky alone. It's Wilder now. So it's Wilder that picked the team tonight. Hecky's Preston won tonight. I didn't say anything about Hecky. I was just parroting back a comment. Brewster needs to play more games. He comes in and gets the ball. The kids weren't good enough. Okay. Nice of us to wear lead boots to give them a chance. Very good, Ian. Very good. These young ones need to go out on loan to learn the hard lessons of real football. Tonight we were playing against a League One side. If they think they can just waltz into the champion, absolutely right. Hampson garbage. Oh, I don't think we should be calling kids garbage at the end of the day, Chris, right? Kids these days watch a lot of YouTube. I say kids, young men watch a lot of YouTube. If one of these stumbles across one of these videos, I would not want to think that they would lose confidence from some of our fans calling him garbage. Like, he's a very young kid, raw talent. I think he's played really well in some games. Yeah, he might have had a bit of a less effect. He affected the game less tonight. And that's fine. Like, attacking players, sometimes they have these games. So I think calling them garbage is a little bit harsh. I'm fuming, mate. Shambles tonight. Davis was... you let yourself down, Scott. 16 touches before he passed it. Slow. Send Brewster out on loan if there's any takers. We haven't got enough strikers, have we? We just haven't. So Tyrese Campbell, he doesn't look like he's anywhere near the level of Championship football yet. And that's weird to say that he's been a Championship footballer for a long time. So every time I've seen him come on, he's looked out of his depth a little bit and really slow and sluggish and struggling on the ball. And that comes with time, I'm sure. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to send Brewster out on loan if that just leaves us with Kiefer Moore and Tyrese Campbell. However bad Brewster has been, or however many chances Brewster misses, I'd rather have him than not have him. Tough loss, but it's just a cup. Get in touch about tactical video. I'm here for it. Oh, Aid, yes, mate. How's it going? I'll have a little look at that. Us, Leeds, Burnley, Luton will get top 2. We've had the most changes and now have best starting 11. Keep pace by January the 1st and we could win it. Oh, I love to see that. But you are called Great Bants, so I hope that's not your attempt at Great Bants. Good win on Sunday and no one cares. Absolutely agree. Football fans are fickle, and I'm just as fickle as everybody else. I fail to understand the approach to this game. The team selection should have been based on players who stood a chance of starting for us this season. Sidney Peck had to run the midfield on his own. Yes, John. Thank you very much. Completely agree. I personally felt the keeper had an opportunity to save against the ball across the box for the goal. The team was a senior player or two away from winning that for me. Not sure about the goal. Not sure about Adam Davis saving that, but I agree. Yeah, a couple more senior players, and we do win that game. That's. I don't think that nobody else will disagree with that. I don't think Harmer and Brooks change the game as soon as they come on. Totally. Anthony says if Bruce is the answer, God knows what the question is. Reading his proper on screen. Only seen second half. Did everything but score. Leave the kids alone. They got to learn. Absolutely. Offered nothing and banked on getting one chance. Almost feel Wilder wanted the cup schedule out of the way. Maybe. Why are we so negative? Why are we so negative about players leaving? God, you won't see many other clubs being as negative as what we are. In possession, we need Burrows to push up and play more wing back, whilst Gilchrist or whoever is right back should be more defensive. It lets Harmer come inside. Absolutely. And that could offer you that little bit of balance, couldn't it, really? If Gilchrist's sitting back, Burrows is getting forward, people shuffle across if there's a problem, or like Michael Doyle used to do, Vinny Souza should be doing, fill it in at left back if Burrows goes flying forward. Things like that, but it doesn't seem to happen for us these days. At least nobody can say that wasn't Wilder's fault. I'll never know why there's a need to make 11 changes 4 games into the season. 10K fans and 5K were ours. That loan up was a slap on the face. Yeah, completely agree, Chris. I really do. We could play on the wing and put Harmer in the 10. O'Hare on the wing. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, agreed. I think we brought him in as a winger, in all honesty. That's what I heard, that we brought him in as a left-sided forward, midfielder, whatever you want to call it. But he does play in the number 10, and he's fine in the number 10, but we've got too many central players and not enough wide players. Wilder wanted to go there and win, said those exact words in his presser. Of course you're going to say that. You're not going to say, we want to go there and lose, are you? There's no wonder players like Harmer and Souza want to leave. Dan Squid. Do they want to leave? Does Harmer and do you know, Chris, that Harmer and Souza want to leave? I know you've got your sources, but do you know that they want to leave? Because it doesn't look like to me that they want to leave. It really doesn't. Ian saying R&D was so slow, fell asleep and couldn't recover. Typical Blades. Lee Pitts, nice to see you, mate. He didn't want out. It's a comfy story to tell ourselves. Okay, fair enough. Truth is, we've lost all our decent strikers and replaced them with nothing. Oh my god, it's so negative, guys. It's a Tuesday night. We've just lost in the cup. It's not the end of the world. It really isn't. Must have wanted out to make 11 changes. Oh, I'm going to fly towards the end. Sorry if I've missed you, people. But yeah, it's getting me down. It really, whoa, loads of comments. Thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate all the comments and everybody joining the stream tonight. What do you expect if you 11 changes? Yeah, thanks, Sandra. Absolutely. We all agree. I'm just seeing the same comments over and over again. Go to wing back, suits is better. Oh, that would be so Wilder to go back to wing backs. I think we would be better. Genuinely, I think we'd be better with wing backs, but we've got so many midfielders that we're trying to, squeeze into that midfield. Midfield is our best position, and if we play wing backs, we've probably got, how many have we got? 2, 3 players to pop in there, 3, 4 maximum. And we've got too many good midfielders that we're trying to kind of squeeze into there. Yeah, we've been through some of these. I'll quickly pop up ones that we haven't seen before. Bruce is good at shouting from town hall. That's it. Wow. Oh my God. Campbell is going to be fourth choice once Cannon comes in. Do we think Cannon comes in? Let's have a see. I'm the lucky one. Change Barnsley to go to Hull in a few weeks. I get you. I definitely get you. Harmer's gone. Like, why? Why? I can't put that up on screen. It's not working for some reason. And none of the other comments are coming. There we go. Mo says, didn't look interested today. Expected to win. Come on, Nick. Harmer said he wants to go to Leeds from... Get away. Absolute rubbish. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. I'll quickly say, I've not heard anything about the takeover. Nothing in the slightest. So I'm hoping that we're still on track for it, but I've not heard anything in the last few days. Nothing to say that it's not going through. I'm just saying I've not heard anything. So, yeah. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. We've all got opinions, and that's absolutely fine. I just don't want to see too many negative comments before I go to sleep tonight and then have to get up for work, because it puts me in a bad mood. It just does, and it puts us all in a bad mood. So let's try and be a little bit more positive. We did make 11 changes. There will be possibly another 11 changes for the home game against Watford. And like somebody very, very well put in the comments, if we beat Watford on Sunday, none of this matters. None of this matters. Nobody cares. Everybody moves on and things are great again. So let's just hope that all our players are intact by that Watford game. And we've added a couple more in. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Cannon would be nice and Johnston would be nice. And I would be more than happy with us going until January with this squad. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate everybody dropping by and popping all their lovely comments, however lovely they were in the comments. People being here at this time of night, every time I just can't thank you enough. So thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. I'll see you very, very soon. Have a great evening.
Ollie, ollie, ollie.